cannot do. I can't believe I am I am before this altar. Hallelujah. I flew from Warri to testify of what the Lord has done. My first testimony, I joined this altar 2021. And before then, my family was going through a lot. And I introduced my junior sister to this altar. She was 40 years at then and had no husband, had no even boyfriend. And so I introduced her to this altar, and just like that, 3 months later, she called us and said she has somebody who wants to marry her. And before we knew anything, it was wedding. We were celebrating. After the wedding, all of a sudden the devil came in and struck. They said, her stomach started bulging. And they said she has a fibroid. They took her to the hospital and they did an operation on her. And after the operation, the doctors told her that it would take a miracle if after 4 years you are able to put to bed. I now asked her, did the doctor really say it takes a miracle? And so I said, if the doctor said it takes a miracle, I have a place that miracles are constructed. And so I brought her to the altar. Before you know anything, 3 months later, she took in. She broke the jinx of that 4 years that was scheduled for her. And she has put to bed a beautiful baby girl. My second testimony, I have a neighbor and a friend who, for 5 years, she has been stagnant. She has been married without an issue. And my wife introduced her to this altar. And she became an addict on this altar. Every morning she will join. Just like that, she took in. And just 2 days ago, we were in Abuja here. She called and said she has put to bed a beautiful baby girl. As if that was not enough, I have a pastor friend. I lost that pastor friend and the wife to cancer. And just some few years later, they called me one morning. I was in the field and they called me and said the daughter has a nasopharyngeal cancer. I said, which one is this one again? We lost the mother, lost the father, and the thing is transferring to the daughter. And I said, no, it can't happen. And I brought the case on this altar. Every morning, even offshore, I was always praying. People know me offshore. I text it out to people, share it to them, and I was praying ruggedly for her. She started the chemo, and I have the pictures here. The chemo affected her, burnt her on the neck because it was a throat cancer. And in one of the services one morning, Daddy just said, on NSPPD, nasopharyngeal cancer. I went on my knees. Tears started coming up my eyes. And I just video shot it and sent it to her. Then she was in the hospital, critical. And I told her, just replay it and key into it. They told her that the cancer was at stage 4. That was to say we were going to lose her also. And I put her on this altar. And the God of this altar stood for her. Today, I have the proof here, the before and after picture of what this God of NSPPD did for her. She's completely healed of nasopharyngeal cancer. I remember that morning when Papa said nasopharyngeal cancer. He repeated it 3 or 4 times. He was saying pharyngeal cancer. That was what she was suffering. But this God healed her. The other testimony is about my wife. She had this ulcer that was disturbing her. In the night, the thing would just start like that, and we'll be driving in the night around 2 a.m. to rush her to the hospital. She'll be in the hospital in intensive care for like 3 days. And I said, no, this cannot happen again. And I brought it before this altar. Papa, one of the NSPPD morning, Papa called ulcer. And we keyed into it. From that day till today, she has never had that attack. She is free from it. And lastly, is my own testimony. There was this project. That project has lasted for 23 years. Many people were sacked on that project. Many ran away and left the project. And I was in the company, and one of this day, I was drafted to head one of the flow stations. The project is to build a new flow station. And we were on that project for 12 years before I joined the altar. And the thing, if you have worked offshore before, you'll know that they'll fight you spiritually and physically. And so we are building this facility offshore. I was in charge of one of the flow stations to build it. And each morning, NSPPD starts at 7 o'clock. And that is our morning meeting, the time for our morning meeting. It extends till when NSPPD finishes. And so I will connect my phone, put the earplug one to this ear, and then I put my ear, this thing, to join the online meeting on this other ear. And I was praying. When Papa says, gives communion, I will take the communion on the field, and I will sprinkle on the field and declare that this project will not fail in my hands. I am an NSPPDian. And one day, Papa said in one of the NSPPD morning, Papa said, that project will be completed. And I keyed into it. And I stand here to say today, my project, among the 5 flow stations that were built, if you Google that project, it's called Focados Yokri Integrated Projects. It's a multi-billion-dollar project. I delivered that project successfully. Now, when you start a new flow station, normally, when you allow crew to enter, people will run up and down to tighten bolts, to check if there is leakages, all those things. But none of those things happened in my facility. We just introduced the crew and everything worked flawlessly. I've come to return the glory to this God. Papa, I want to say thank you for the oil upon your head. I said the flow station, the oil well upon your head will not run dry. Keep on doing this work. You don't know how it is helping us offshore there. Your prayers have kept us. I have flown in the helicopter for more than 1,500 times. And this God has kept me safe, to and fro, offshore. It's a deadly and a difficult environment, but this God has been faithful. He has kept me and brought me here to share this testimony today. To God be the glory. If you see the God of this NSPPD anywhere, please tell him I am still thanking him.